Hey, what's up? Welcome to my lovely city garden. Today I want to share with you my container garden and its progress. Isn't it cute? I don't typically grow many vegetables in containers, but this year, for a few reasons, I grew a bunch. First off, I already had a bunch of pots and containers, and I also had a bunch of mostly free soil, potting soil, extra seedlings that weren't going to really fit into the garden, and of course, I want to try new things. The project came together over time, so what you're going to see here is as I was putting things into the garden, the extras would go into containers. But this all started, my idea with the containers started way back in March when I started my carrots from seed in a galvanized bin. And we'll start off showing you how that's going. Carrot update. Looking lovely. This is some potted lettuce that I did. Looks like the flies like that. So my container garden. I have this nice bucket. I refilled it with soil. I have this piece of round metal that my father's been wanting me to use for quite some time for something. We've saved it and saved it. It's half circle. So I'm going to do some the chocolate cherries. I have 2 chocolate cherry left. I'm going to put them in this pot. And to get them to start growing up, I am going to create something with this bucket, this pole, this round piece of metal. I will somehow figure out how to get it to stay just like that. We'll put more soil and we'll get these planted. Good idea? I think so. We'll get this to go this way. That way, as it starts growing up both sides, it'll come up here. I don't know if I mentioned before, this has drainage holes in the bottom of this bucket. I have my plant food along with a bunch of the cow compost manure. It all mixed in. Definitely using the regular rules of a foot a pot. This is pretty deep. It's got to be at least 11, 12 inches of soil in here. And there's plenty of room for roots to grow. And it's a cherry, so it's not going to get too humongous. It's going to vine. And hopefully, it'll vine up one side, the other, and then onto up here. I'm going to add a basil and a marigold as well. The basil back here will be good for shade. All right, let's just water it in and we'll be done with this little project. Chocolate cherries in a container. So in this big container with the tomato cage already, I'm going to put one of my San Marzanos. They are determinate, plum type tomato. So they will all grow and all come to fruit all around the same time. So this will kind of be another little experiment. I had some time to kill earlier today, and I ended up at a nursery and came home with some lovely things. So I have a bunch of herbs going. However, some of the things that I wanted to sow didn't actually work out. So lavender, love it. I found 2 different varieties. I tried to sow it myself. It did not work out. So I have this one here and this one here. I'm going to plant those together in one pot. I also found some beautiful sage. It's called Savory Sachet Sage. Look how pretty. It's green and purple. I tried from seed. Did not work out. It started off great. Just did not work out. And then I found the mint, which I wanted to get to try to eliminate some of the pests I have in my garden. Not only for the veggies, but for myself. It's supposed to deter mosquitoes, and mosquitoes absolutely fucking love me. So I found these 2 different mints. I'm going to put in 2 separate pots because they like supposedly spread like crazy. This one is called Chocolate Ganache, and you cannot tell, but it smells like chocolate mint, like a peppermint patty or a what do you call those, thin mints. So good. And then something I didn't even know existed, I found Island Pineapple Mint. Dude, seriously, it smells like pineapple. And I wouldn't normally like even get 2 separate types of mint, but it smells like pineapple. How did they do that? So, I'm in love. Tomorrow I'm going to put them in pots. I'm going to put them in 2 separate pots. I'm going to put both of the lavender and the sage in one pot. So pretty. Okay, these are some lettuce, Paris lettuce I have in here. I've already harvested a little off them. I'm going to remove these crappy leaves that look broken and continue to harvest from them. I kept them over here because they kind of get most shade most of the day, and they're looking great, even in June. My goal is to have lettuce throughout the summer by just kind of hiding them away to keep them away from the sun, from bolting. So we'll see what happens. So this here was gifted to me. It's a raspberry plant I put into a pot. In this big pot, I have some marigolds, some purple basil, a purple tomato plant right there. And this was originally supposed to be a San Marzano pot, but someone came in and ate my tomatoes. The stem is still in there. That was my San Marzano. Here's an update on my carrots in the container. I might move this to a shadier spot because this gets a lot of sun, this section, and I don't want them to bolt. I want them to grow underground. So, well, in the pot. But it looks so great right here. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay, so this is another Morning Glory coming up here with a flower my mom bought and just stuck it in there. You can see this is right outside where my peas are growing. Here's my adorable little wildlife bath. The front one only works in the sun, which is kind of a good thing. Okay, so in this pot here, I put 2 chocolate cherries. And they're both doing excellent. One doing a little bit better than the other. I hope this is enough space for them to grow. Plan here is to grow up and around these circles, the big circle I put there, and then up the pole as needed. And you have this whole fence area to attach to if it needs to. So again, kind of an experiment how much we can grow in this little container. Actually, it's not little. In this container, it's a good size. And I have some marigolds I've been growing in this pot from inside. Once they came outside, they just look amazing. So they'll grow up in this pot, and if I need to put them in the garden, I will. If not, I will kind of like them in this pot. So there's only 3, so there'll be plenty of room. Well, I ignored my garden for the weekend because I worked so much. That's all right. Things did not go so badly. Container garden is what needed the most water. My lettuce over here, looking sad now, but I'm sure with water they'll pop right up. Okay. So we have our raspberries. By the way, today is June 16th. I had to plant one of my purple tomatoes in here. Someone ate the San Marzano I had. It's July 2nd, and I've decided to pull most of my carrots out of my container. We just went through a heat wave, and there were a bunch of days where this container just got dried out every day. Hey, Brady. So I pulled one out. They were small. They were definitely peeking out of the top. So that's usually a sign to pull. As I started pulling, I seen they were very small, but they're still really good. I tried one the other day when I pulled the first one out, and then today it's just not getting any cooler, and being a container, I feel like it probably heated up even more. And my cat is eating the carrots. Okay, that's fine. But anyway, July 2nd, Brady has claimed them to be hers. Brady, I'm doing something here. So these were actually overdue for pulling. Even though they say you can keep them in the ground and they'll just continue to grow or stay the size they are. It might be a little bit different since they were in a pot. Maybe that's why they're smaller. No regrets here. I love them. I'm going to saute these up later. And now I'll know for the future it needs maybe less seeds, deeper pot. Better shading when it got really hot would have helped. I definitely could have moved it to a shadier spot. I wasn't thinking. So that could be part of the reason. But like I said at the beginning, this is an experiment. I wanted to see what happens. I'm keeping note of everything and journaling everything so I know what might have went wrong. I still believe you can do these in a pot. But maybe I just chose the wrong pot. So I started this on March 19th. It says 65 to 70 days to harvest, and it's been well over 90 days since I started them. Carrot experiment. Somewhat success. Could have been better, but I am not mad about it. I like it. July 3rd, garden update. It's been a while since I did updates. I've been going through a heat wave. Container garden suffers every day. But things are still growing. So here's my little chocolate cherry tomatoes in a container. This is raspberries. 2 of the stalks are not doing well. I had three stems in there. One is doing great. We have a tomato and some marigolds that are loving this pot. My cute little bird bath. They were flowers in here. They're dying off. I watered them again this morning. We'll see what happens. My little herbs, 1 thing of sage and 2 things of lavender. And it looks like the lavender is going to start to make flowers soon. This is a pepper. And it just always looks tired in this pot. Not always, but when the sun's out. And these are the flowers. I'm going to move one of them inside of the garden soon. Raspberries. My last purple tomatoes. Cherokee purple. Some kind of pepper, I don't remember what. Two cherry tomatoes in here. On vacation for 9 days. There's our raspberries going. Looks like 2 of the stalks did well. This is a purple tomato that I had sitting around for a while. I finally put that in that pot before I went. Inside here I have 1 Cherokee purple, and the tomatoes are growing. I have some there. I have a bunch there. This is my pot of herbs and marigolds that are just exploding. I have a bell pepper, some marigold down there. This is the chocolate cherry, and it looks like some animal has been in here messing around because these are all bent down. They weren't like, this is broken. Oh shit. Oh yeah, lots of broken ones. Lots of something happened here. So I don't know what happened, but most of the plant is doing well. I got some little tomatoes on there. So here we have the mystery plant. A while back, as I was cleaning out the garden, I had something starting to grow. Looked like a squash, a zucchini. I didn't grow it. It decided to grow on its own from seed in the garden, so I popped it out so it didn't get ruined. Put it in a pot, and we planted it right outside of my container garden. Here in this pot, we have 2 chocolate cherries. Now these are actually doing very well, although they don't look it right now. They look like they may be a little sun-scorched. But I got a bunch of babies coming in, and there are 2 plants in this one pot. My plan is to have it go around both sides of the round metal pole I have on there, but you know how nature works. It just does its own thing. Came out one day, and the bottom pot of this pot of the plants, the bottom pot towards the bottom of the pot were all busted up. So I took them and threw them in these pots, and that's why these in here don't look good, because they are broken off of this plant, and they're here just to see if they will root up and grow. We'll see. This here, the marigolds are from seed. The 2 types of lavender and sage I bought, and I made this cute little pot for it together, and it just looks so cute. I love it. I even put a solar light in it so you can see it at night. This is my pepper plant that I didn't know which one it was. So when it finishes making babies, I'll know what type it is. I also have a marigold in there. Again, all my marigolds I grew from seed, and they're doing amazing. With the Cherokee purple tomatoes. This one here is also a Cherokee purple that I had in a pot for the longest time. I went on vacation and said before I go, I'm throwing it in, and it's already doing amazingly. And this here I got as a gift. It's a raspberry plant. There's 2 stalks in there, and they look pretty healthy as of today. But I just really like my container garden. I thought I'd have more things in them. I did have morning glory, but they're just looking so sad. Oh, my morning glory. I thought they were going to be so much more glorious. Thanks for hanging out while I grow my container garden and staying to see its progress. I hope you come back to see how it and my garden journey continues to grow. And just in case you want to see how I made this cute wildlife bath, I'll add the link. Peace.